And we are back. Pokemon Black 2 Hardcore Nuzlocke, only using Steel-type Pokemon. For our starter, it's gonna be the Riolu, or should I say the Lucario, with that fighting steel typing. But first, we gotta secure this guy in Flosessi Ranch, gotta upgrade him with the friendship, and then let's take on our rival. All right, the first time we take on Hugh, once receiving our starter, Legacy the Lucario, the Oshawott comes down, looking cute and cuddly, but the pound comes across the board, doing half damage, beautiful stuff. We tank the tackle, no problem. Hugh with a little bit of a taunt there, but no problem. One more pound will do the trick, and now it's time for that first gym badge. That leads us to our first gym battle here against Cheren and his two normal type Pokemon. He leads the charge with Patrat. We answer with Legacy the Lucario, the only Pokemon on the squad, but the only one we're going to need as the Patrat works up right here, right now. +1 attack, +1 special attack, but will it matter as it does no damage? With those stab tackles, the steel typing doing wonders for us as we get Patrat into the orange, and one more pound comes down and Patrat is dropped. Beautiful stuff from Legacy here as Lillipup comes in, the ace from downtown. We get a pound across the board, getting Lillipup 33% off the top, not too bad, but another pound comes in, bringing Lillipup into the orange, and as you can see, Lillipup cannot penetrate the defenses of Legacy, even with a critical hit. We stand strong, the Oranberry for reprieve, and Lillipup is gone. Absolutely. Cheren forks over the first gym badge. Next on the menu here is going to be a Magnemite found in Verbank Complex right below the second gym. Drop back with the Pokeball and secure it. And now with two Pokemon to our name, we take on Roxy with her two Poison-type Pokemon. The Coughing comes down and we get Magic the Magnemite into the front lines here, leading with that Thunder Wave, locking down the bundle of Sludge. As we are going to pivot into Legacy, our starter, our pride and joy, as he is going to lay down the law against Roxy here. We're going to lean in with the workup TM that we got from Cheren, and the tackle comes down, and as you can see, those normal types are doing absolutely nothing to our steel types, completely resisting that. Really good stuff as we pump up and work up twice over and get a beautiful return across the board. Coughing falls, and that leads to Whirlpeed. The ace coming down, another return comes in. Whirlpeed holds on in the red and responds with a pitiful move here. No problems there. The Super Potion holds on. Roxy not wanting to lose her Whirlipede as we get one more workup abusing the potion turn. The Protect comes down, holding on to life. The Whirlipede is about to roll off the screen though as the return comes down and Roxy is defeated. Make it 2 gym badges. And then in the Relic Passage, we run into a ground-type Drillbur here, drop back with the Great Ball and secure it, and that means we will have an Excadrill later on in the run. Now for the third gym battle here in Berg and his bug-type Pokemon, and I don't know about you, but this is one of the scariest, the most dangerous gym battles in the entire game, really. Unova is known for its strong bug-type Pokemon as the Swadloon comes down, level 22, hiding in his little cabbage patch, his little lettuce get up there as we paralyze with magic once again, get the Magnemite to safety, and now Legacy the Lucario comes in, is the closer, is the walk-off home run that you love to see as we get a workup in. We've seen this strat before, and I'm pretty curious to see if we'll see it again as the screenshot tries to hamper our speed, but another workup comes down, and we are operating on a Swords Dance clip right here, right now. Another string shot to try to hold us at bay, but will it be enough is the question. The Swadloon ready to take this return on the chin, and it does absolutely that as it gets deleted into next Tuesday. The Levany, the ace comes down with the Grass Bug typing. The Razor Leaf comes in. It's not very effective, but the critical hit slices through the metal on Lucario's palms, and that doesn't do it as it holds on in the red, gets a little bit of reprieve from the Citrus Berry. Levany holding on in the orange, another Razor Leaf comes down, a critical hit, could spell disaster as it does land a double critical hit, but Legacy holds on. This Lucario is not done as he levels up to level 25. One more Pokemon in the back, it's going to be the Dwebble. Do we roll the Force Palm or do we get out of here as we swap into Magic? Excalibur there for moral support as the Steel typing hasn't come in yet. The Vein Attack comes down, the Steel typing will resist since it is Gen 5. Beautiful stuff there, and we also have the leftovers on the tiny little magnet. We lean into a Spark. It does not capitalize on the special attack that Magnemite has available, but that is okay. This is going to be a long, drawn-out battle, but Magic is just happy he was able to save a friend. As the Smackdown comes down, we resist that as well. It is stab, but not too much damage. Spark comes in. Does it get the paralysis? It does not, but the leftovers for reprieve. Beautiful stuff. Magic is digging into the trenches here and is willing to fight this and bring this home for the third gym badge. Little Dwebble taking another Spark, but is undeterred as he's doing a little happy dance with his pinchers. Another Smackdown comes down, no critical baby. Beautiful stuff, and we fade away with a Sonic Boom. 1 HP and a Dream. Dwebble holds 22 levels is all he needs as the Hyper Potion comes down. Berg not wanting to lose his crustacean. Another Spark comes down, going for that paralysis, trying to keep Dwebble locked down in his shell. Another Spark comes down, trading another smackdown, and this fight is still going on somehow, some way. There is the paralysis. Magic finds it in his heart to lock down the Dwebble, and that means we can go for these Sonic Booms. It does have a 10% miss chance, but that is okay as the Rock Polish comes down, trying to taper the speed debuff of the paralysis as one more leftovers comes in. We fade away with the Sonic Boom, and Magic takes it all. 3 gym badges and a dream. On our way to the 4th gym here, we throw out Legacy against Colress, and he gets absolutely bodied onto the next part of the run. All right, with the team of 2 that we know and love, the little tiny magnet has upgraded into the Magneton, and we are ready for Elisa here. 3 electric type Pokemon on the table, and here we go. She opens up with the Emolga, comes in with a Pursuit, not doing much damage at all against Magic as we lay down the layer of defense with the Reflect on top of a light screen, so 50% cut in half over the physical and special attacks that Elisa has to offer. Beautiful stuff here. We can even get a little cheap for a Sonic Boom if we want. Get the little cute chipmunk down. 20 HP off the top, just a little bit of chip, no problem there. A quick attack comes in, and this Emolga will not use the Volt Switch, so we are absolutely abusing it, knowing that it will not swap out to the Zeep Striker, who has that fire type move that is super effective against these steel types. So given this long drawn out opening here, we're going to go back and rinse repeat the Reflect as we get that screen down, and that means the light screen is ready to go as well. We're going to lock that in, so this whole thing just to use that first Hyper Potion as Magic is healing, and there is the withdrawal, the tactical retreat from Elisa as we get both screens down, but now we are looking pretty good, I would say. The only option we have is Legacy as the Pursuit comes down doing double damage, but that Steel typing keeping us nice and healthy. Magic gets to safety. Legacy, the Lucario, comes in and is ready for his moment in the sun. The Pursuit comes down as we get outsped. Zeep Striker holding out on the Flame Charge, thinking we would swap again. Another Pursuit comes in. Elisa has lost her marbles as the day comes down, getting Zeep Striker to the red. The heal from the Citrus Berry getting to the yellow or orange, whichever color you prefer. As the Flame Charge comes down, there's the super effective damage. Beautiful stuff here as the Flame Charge brings us to about 48 HP with the speed buff as well. Now Zeep Striker is super duper fast, but another dig comes down and the Zebra dies. The Zebra drops right here, right now. That leaves an Emolga and the Flaffy as both team members level up. Given that XP bar being at the top, the Flaffy comes down. It's not an Ampharos, and it won't do as Legacy barrows itself under the ground, dodging the Thunder Wave. The leftovers for reprieve, and Flaffy goes all the way to the red. The static in return, though, is massive as we are going to be slower and have a chance of not being able to attack, but we can still go for this. Takedown comes down, is resisted by the Steel typing. The recoil for a little bit of extra spice as well. Flaffy holding on. We dodge from underground. The dig comes in, and Flaffy goes down. The sheep is counted for the last time. And now one more Pokemon in the Flying Squirrel, one of my personal favorites here, the Chipmunk in the sky. Full HP. We have vanquished both of Elisa's Hyper Potions, which is really nice. The Pursuit comes down, doing no damage. I don't know why Elisa is holding out on the Volt Switch, but we will take it. And there it is. The Emolga comes in for its signature move, getting us to 47 HP. But one more return, and Legacy takes it all. 4 gym badges down. Let's go. In Route 6, we have access to the cute and cuddly little Carablast here. Drop back with the Pokeball and secure it. I'm going to go ahead and trade this with my good friend Gary, and let's see what it evolves into. The tiny little Carablast is going to evolve into Emery, the Ex-Cavalier, looking fantastic with that attack stat line. Let's slap a Quick Claw on there and see what she can do. And as you may have seen there, in Charstone Cave, we were able to secure the Pharaoh Seed, drop back with the Pokeball, and now the team is really coming alive. It is now time to take on the 5th gym leader and his ground-type Pokemon. Clay decides to send out his Krokorok first with the Intimidate. However, we answer with Magic the Magneton with the EVLA on the side as well, buffing our defense and special defense respectively. We're going to lean into this Reflect, chopping Clay's physical attacks down in half as the Bulldoze is here. And with that EVLA and Reflect, that really doesn't do a lot of damage, which is beautiful, as we are going to pivot into Legacy, who has the Air Balloon in the back ready to go, so he can dodge all of those ground type moves until Krokorok sees it fitting in his heart to use one, and the Torment comes down. So now we can only do one workup before we have to swap into an attacking move. The benefit of that is if we can't one-shot the Krokorok, we can get another workup in as the heal comes down. So this is probably going to put down the Crocodile, I would imagine so, and it absolutely does. Legacy completely flexing, gets the level 34 on the kill as well. Sandslash comes down, the second Pokemon in the lineup. We use the Ice Punch acquired from the move Tutor. Beautiful stuff there, and we get a lucky roll on the freeze. Legacy is paving the way right now. I would imagine that Clay heals up, so we're going to abuse that turn with the workup, as previously mentioned. Really good stuff here, as well as Torment is still active, so we couldn't have used another Ice Punch, which is really cool. But now we can. The Ice Punch comes down, and I do believe Sandslash is gone. No, Sandslash holds on with 1 HP and a dream. That defense stat holding on, doing wonders for Clay here, and we are going to have to pivot to a Force Palm, which could be detrimental, as we cannot use Force Palm against the Excadrill now. We cannot, however, we do have Dig as well, which hits for super effective, and there you go, seeing Torment in action, holding us back, making sure we cannot double down on the same move. But I do believe with the workup buffs, this will one-shot the Ace. The Dig comes down, Legacy from underground, Pimp slaps the Ace, gets a fadeaway critical, and Clay is defeated. Make it 5 gym badges. And then in Ms. Ralton Cave, we run into an Aeron, drop back with the Great Ball, and secure it. Next on the menu is going to be Skyla, the 6th gym leader, and her flying type Pokemon. Magnezone comes down. That's right, our Magneton has upgraded in Chargestone Cave, and now Magic is absolutely flexing on the competition. We drop big back with the Electro Ball as the Heart Stamp comes down. We shake that off, no problem, and Swoobat holds on in the red. A little bit of leftovers for reprieve. We have outgrown the Eviolite usage, and now Magic is eating those leftovers in the back kitchen as Skyla uses a Hyper Potion, not wanting to lose her flying bat here. Another Electro Ball comes down and does massive damage, leaving Swoobat in the red once again, and we heal back to full. The Heart Stand comes down. Do we dodge the flinch? And yes, we do. Another Electro Ball for the diet, and the bat flies home for the last time. 2 Pokemon left on Skyla's side of things. We keep healing with the leftovers, which is absolutely beautiful. Skyla sends out her Pride and Joy, the Ace Swanna, with the water flying typing, and that is going to be 4 times weak to this Electro Ball, and I think it's good night, Sally, for the Swan. The Trumpet of the Swan falls, and here we go. Only 1 Pokemon left on the docket, and I do believe it's going to be one of our own in the future in the Skarmory here, as Magic is continuing to eat those leftovers. The Skarmory comes down. Skyla holding on to hopes that she can at least take one of our Pokemon to the grave. The Steel Wing comes down, and we resist that upon resisting, and the Flash Cannon comes down, which it resists as well. All we're doing is just showboating and popping the sturdy. Absolute disrespect as we come in for the Electro Ball, but we're gonna have to tank one more Steel Wing up close and personal. The Electro Ball drops back. It is going to be neutral because of that Steel typing, and I'm just kidding. It's not. Steel does not resist electric, kids, and Skyla is defeated. We then run into a Skarmory on the top of Reversal Mountain, drop back with the Ultra Ball, and add yet another team member to the squad. We then run into Hugh at Undella Town. He sends out his Pheasant to lead the fight. We open up with Magnezone. We have come to love and believe in Magic here. He does magic. Everything he touches turns to gold as the taunt comes down, meaning we cannot use Thunder Wave or any other utility move as the Detect comes in, and Pheasant is cheesing so hard right now. So we go for the Volt Switch. The Air Slash comes down. No crit, no flinch, whatever it was going for, it didn't happen as we tank that no problem, and we actually one-shot the Pheasant as we swap out of the battlefield here, and now we can pivot into one of our other team members, and it could be Legacy, it could be Fable. The Ferrothorn's debut comes in, the Grass Steel Behemoth, another UFO on the team as well. I love this typing, I love the bulk, and I love how we dodge the Encore as Samurott beats us to the punch, and we fade away with a stab, super effective power rip. Fable writing his own story, or her story, I should say, as the Simisage comes down, goes in for the Leer, trying to drop our defense, but it's not going to happen, as our girl, she is big and she is bulky, as the Gyro Ball comes in. Simisage holding on with about 33% HP. The Seed Bomb is 4 times resisted. You can't touch this, as we drop back with one more, and the UFO takes it all. He was defeated in Undella Town. Wow. And then on the infamous Route 9, we run into a Pawniard, the Dark Steel typing, drop back with the Dive Ball, and secure it. That brings us to our 7th gym battle in the run against Drayden and his formidable Dragon-type Pokemon. But as we saw against Clay, Lucario's got that Ice Punch in the back, so we lead with Magic to pave the way. We get the Reflect down to block those physical type moves unless it crits. The Revenge comes in. It does do super effective, but is cut in half thanks to that screen. Beautiful stuff here as we lead into a Thunder Wave, locking down this Dredagon, using him to buy us some time. We're going to get that Lucario out there as the Crunch comes down. No defense drop, which is really nice, but we're going to get the swap anyway. We're not going to risk the Volt Switch crit. We don't want the Tredegon to die. I think we could have got away with it, but no problem as the paralysis comes down, locking down the dragon, and we have upgraded from workup to Swords Dance. The revenge is here. It's going to be super effective, but again, that reflect is still up, keeping us nice and healthy with the leftovers on the side. Legacy is making his own story come to life as another Swords Dance comes down, and Lucario is now +4 attack. We double resist that crunch. I don't know what the Tredegon was thinking, maybe thinking we were going to get out of here, but the reflect fades away here as we lean into a +4 ice punch, and I do believe Tredegon is going down. Absolutely. 2 Pokemon left on Drayden's side of things here. I do believe the Flygon's coming in next, leaving the Haxorus for last, but we have a 4x super effective +4 ice punch, and this Flygon is going home. Yes, he is. One more Pokemon in the fierce and infamous Haxorus, but with Lucario outspeeding and with that +4 Swords Dance clip, this Mold Breaker is going to be nothing but a parting gift as Haxorus stares at Lucario and potentially falls to an ice punch, and that is exactly what happens. Drayden falls to us. We secure 7 gym badges, and the run is completely underway. We get ambushed by Zinzolin outside of Drayden's gym, but as you can see, our Steel types have no issues with Zinzolin's signature ice types. We get Emery in there just to completely flex on him, and in her debut, she pops off with these Iron Heads. The Night Slash doing no damage. The stab Iron Head comes down. It is super effective, and it's more than enough to take down his pathetic squad of ice types. Emery completely flexes on Zinzolin. And that means it's time to take on the final gym leader in Marlin and his water-type Pokemon. And between our electric and grass types in our chubby UFOs here, I think we're going to have plenty of firepower as the discharge comes down, popping Caracos's Sturdy. The Scald in return, no burn, would be glorious, and it does get the burn, unfortunately. But Magic flexes with the leftover, but we are definitely going to have to lean into Fable and that grass typing to see this through as Caracos gets the Hyper Potion, resetting the Sturdy, and now that burn is going to tick over time and completely nullify our leftovers, which is unfortunate. A Volt Switch comes in, getting a critical hit. The Sturdy pops one more time. Will Marlin use another heal, or will that be all she wrote in that regard? Caracos holding on with 1 HP. We pivot to our big girl Fable. She outspeeds the Caracos and fades with a neutral Iron Head. Absolutely the only downfall to Power Whip. It is 85% accuracy. Will that come into play? Will it not? As the Amnesia comes down, Wailord bracing itself for that special attack. However, Power Whip is physical. It is a monstrous Vine Whip fadeaway crit, and the whale is slain. Fable takes it down as if it's slaying a dragon. The Jellicent is here, and we are going to drop back with one more Power Whip. Will it do the job as the skull comes down? No burn, baby girl. No burn. Absolutely. Fable drops back, takes its whip, and completely crushes the Jellicent right in the face. Marlin is defeated. All 8 gym badges are secured. For our final first encounter, it is going to be the Metang found in the Giant Chasm. Drop back with the Master Ball and secure it. That leads us to our much anticipated fight against Colress in his own Steel-type Pokemon, primarily the Magneton. With the Eviolite comes down, we answer with our big magic, the Magnezone, as the Thunder Wave does connect and locks us down. However, that is just a means to an end, as Excadrill is going to be the hero in the shadows for this fight. We're going to tank the Flash Cannon up close, no problems here. We barely lose any HP as we go for a Volt Switch, getting that chip onto the Magneton, as well as popping the Sturdy. Beautiful stuff here. We send in Excalibur, our Excadrill, about to do so much work. It's not even funny. As you can see, the Earthquakes are already running low as he has been stampeding through Team Plasma. The Flash Cannon comes down. It is special attack, doing no damage whatsoever. However, with that light screen up, keeping us safe on top of the leftovers, Excalibur will not fall. Not here, not now, as another Flash Cannon comes down. Even with a critical hit, I don't think this guy's going to have any issues here, as the leftovers continues to heal us through this barrage of Flash Cannons. One more Swords Dance will punch our ticket to the sweep train right here. The Flash Cannon comes down. Magneton doing everything in its power to hamper our defense as well as trim our HP down. The light screen fades, and that does mean it is time to go. The Earthquake comes down. It is stabbing. It is 4 times super effective. Magneton drops, leading us to 4 more Pokemon on Colress' side. And as you can see, we heal all the way back to full with the leftovers as well. Magnezone comes down, and because of that Sturdy, we are just going to go for the Rock Slide Flinch, just a chip. And look at that, with the Swords Dance, it brings Magnezone to 33% HP. On top of that, gets the flinch. However, the Flash Cannon comes in next, does a little bit more damage than the Magneton prior. However, we are primed and ready to take down the UFO. Colress loses its ace. The Magnezone falls, leading to 3 more Pokemon. Excalibur completely flexing. Behemoth comes down. Is the Psychic type. It is cheating the Steel type, but we don't care. We don't need it. The Earthquake comes down and is more than enough damage to take down the Behemoth. 2 Pokemon left. One's not even going to be the Metagross. It's going to be the Metang as Excalibur reaches into its pouch and takes a chomp out of its apple for 1 more leftovers proc. Kling Klang comes down. It does have the air balloon, so we can't use Earthquake right out the gate. However, bringing it to about 50%, maybe even 40% HP, the Earthquake will finish off the gears from that range, and Excalibur isn't even breaking a sweat. This Excadrill from downtown, the Metang, is here. The final bastion of hope and defense for Colress, but we got 1 more Earthquake in the back. We drop back with it, and massive damage comes down. Colress is defeated. As we venture further into the giant chasm, Legacy takes on the Fusion himself in Cheren here. Close combat almost one-shots the big scary dragon. However, we dig underground, dodging its signature ice hyper beam, if you will, and then we take it down. That leads us to the much anticipated fight against Ghetsis. He's going to open up with the Coffin himself. The Cofagrigus is coming down right here, right now. Has the Toxic Stall strats. However, given our Steel typings, we are immune to that Poison typing, which is absolutely beautiful. We are going to pivot into Magic, who usually leads the charge here. The Protect Cheese comes down, but fails because of the swap. The Light Screen is here, trying to protect our team from these special attacks that the Coffin has to offer. The Shadow Ball comes down, is resisted, and does no damage. So we're going to go ahead and get a Volt Switch, capitalizing on that Light Screen being up, keeping us safe, and we get Cofagrigus to half HP. Absolutely, we are prime time right now. The Coffin comes down, goes for the Shadow Ball, but it will be resisted because of that Steel typing. It is Gen 5, and you'll love to see it as the special defense drop is here. However, the leftovers to taper that damage. Beautiful stuff. Cofagrigus also has the leftovers on his side of things, and there is Ghetsis trying to come in with the taunt. No problem here as we get the Swords Dance, and we are going to have the last laugh here as the Psychic comes down, and that is going to be neutral damage since fighting is weak to Psychic, so we take that. Does a little bit more than the Shadow Ball, but still really not too much to worry about as the Protect comes down, and we punish with another Swords Dance. We saw Legacy absolutely pop off against Raiden, and I do believe the same result is going to happen here against Ghetsis as Cofagrigus gets a little bit of health back with the leftovers, but 1 more Swords Dance is going to get this choo-choo train right where we want it to be. The Psychic comes down, barring any critical hit, we are going to be looking fantastic as we hold on with 114 HP. The leftovers for a Cofagrigus trying to heal back as well, but with a +6 attack. The beautifulness of this moment is that the Light Screen heals, or the Light Screen fades as we go underground. The +6 Swords Dance in the back, ready to go. The Protect Cheese is here and outsmarts our dig, though, so we're gonna have to rinse and repeat 1 more time and see if we can cheese the Cofagrigus so it doesn't cheese us first. But instead, we drop back with the Ice Punch. It is +6. Can it take down the Coffin? And yes, it can. We lose our inner focus ability, but that is just fine, as a +6 Lucario is something to be feared and revered as the leftovers almost heals us back to full. The Seismitoad comes down. It's not a Swampert, but it'll do. The close combat across the board. It is Stab, and that is going to be so much damage coming at Ghetsis' team, and Seismitoad does not have what it takes to hold on. 4 more Pokemon. Now, he does have some tanky mons, but I don't think anyone can live a +6 close combat if it's going to be neutral. Drapion is Dark Poison, so this is absolutely going to be neutral, and Drapion goes down. Imagine getting one shot as a Drapion. You'll love to see it. Legacy completely flexing the leftovers, continues to heal. That leads to 3 more Pokemon and gets his side. The Electros comes down, does not have a weakness because of the Levitate ability. However, a close combat comes in and completely dismantles the Electros. Only 2 Pokemon left on Ghetsis' side, and the leader of Team Plasma is shaking. He is croaking, if you will, as the Toxicroak comes down. It is here. Maybe we'll cheese a Sucker Punch. Doesn't matter as a close combat comes in hot. It is not very effective, but it is a disrespectful flex as Legacy could care less about typings with all of that attack. The final Pokemon is going to be the Hydreigon. The revered Gen 5 legendary, or pseudo-legendary, I should say, as a close combat comes down. It is super effective, and it is exactly what we need to take down Ghetsis. And then for our final battle against our rival before getting to the Elite Four, he's got 4 Pokemon, and they're looking good at this point in the game. The Unfezant leads the charge. We've seen this before. We open up with Magic the Magnezone. The Swagger comes down, though, raising our attack and making us confused, wanting to hit ourselves in the face, but hopefully we can cluster in. The Reflect comes down. Magic completely clutching here. We're going to go for the Thunder Wave to try to set up on the Unfezant, but it has the Facade, gets the critical hit as well. We do clutch the Thunder Wave. However, Facade is going to do double damage now, so we're going to have to watch out for that, as we might not be as safe as we would like, because that critical hit through the reflect with the facade boost could be devastating, as we hurt ourselves in there as the facade that comes down. Thankfully, it does not crit this time. The reflect holding strong, but Magic is taking an absolute beating against this pigeon, against this fat pigeon right here, right now. And now we are looking at who we want to swap into and what we want to do. Ideally, we set up with Legacy the Lucario to sweep like we've done before in this run, and that's exactly what we're leaning into. Legacy comes in on a full paralysis turn. Beautiful stuff. The Sword Stance comes down, and honestly, I think we only need one to sweep with the close combats. The Swagger comes down, and we are blessed for attack. So maybe we swap out and just try to do this again as the reflect comes down. So we're going to swap into Emery, our Steel Bug here. The Aerial Ace comes down. It's going to be neutral damage, but we tank that no problem. We also have Sword Stance on the Steel Bug, but we got to watch out for another Swagger given the lack of Person Berries. And there it is. We are +4, and now we are in the same position. This pigeon is everything. The peasant, the peasant, comes in with another Swagger. What is this mindless violence? And we are going to get a Sword Stance on Emery and see if we can capitalize on this pigeon being confused. The Swagger comes down, and this peasant, this pheasant is God mode right now, cannot miss a Swagger, and we are just absolutely at its mercy. So here we go. Legacy comes in for the 4th or 5th time here. The paralysis comes down. We go for one Sword Stance, and all we need is the full para. This is all we need, and there it is. The full para comes down. We are +2. We go for the Ice Punch. All of that ridiculousness leading to this moment. The Unfezlant finally fades, as it has put up with so many paralysis turns. The Boufflant comes down, but we are +2 attack. This is going to be stab super effective, and the Buffalo, I do not believe, can live this, and that is the case. Legacy flexes, takes down half of Hugh's team. That leads to 2 more Pokemon here in the Semi-Sage. The Grass Monkey is pretty fast, but I don't think it's going to have any chance of living this Ice Punch. Legacy outspeeds, comes in with the super effective Ice type move, and Semi-Sage falls. Absolutely, our starter doing so much work in this run, and now all he has to do is drop back with one more close combat. It is not super effective, but it is stab, and this should absolutely do it. That Samurott holds on with 2 HP. Oh no, our special defense drops, and the Surf comes down. On top of that, Samurott has Mystic Water, and Legacy, can you hold with 1 HP? Legacy falls. Our first and only casualty of the run is our starter. The Lucario drops, and now the team is in shambles. The tears that fall from my face to Lucario's grave. Oh my god, Fable comes in. The Max Potion comes down on Hugh's side here. He is coming in hot with the heal. The Power Whip misses. One of the only times Fable Power Whip misses. She's trembling as she lost her best friend Lucario, but we take the Surf, and the Power Whip comes in on the next try. Vengeance is mine, says Fable, and it takes the win with a fadeaway crit. You'll love to see it, but that is a massive casualty leading into the Elite Four. And without further ado, we dive straight into the Elite Four with our final team of 6. We charge right into Caitlin's chambers here, and we're going to take on her Psychic-type Pokemon to get this Elite Four underway. She leads with her Musharna, a very bulky, slow Psychic type, someone we can definitely try to utilize to set up on. So we're going to do just that as we get the light screen down. The Yawn in return. Magic's going to try to fall asleep on us, but it doesn't matter as we get the Thunder Wave off, locking down the Musharna. The Synchronize comes down and blocks us from falling asleep. A very interesting strategy, but that's all we're going to need Magneton for as we Volt Switch to safety, and now we can swap into somebody who can set up and take down Caitlin's squad, and that's going to be the Bisharp, as the defense is raised from that Reflect, but no problem here as we go for that Swords Dance. That is +2 attack on Bladeless. She is the Knight in Shining Armor, and she is ready to go. We've got a little bit of leftovers for healing every single turn, and the second Swords Dance comes down. Bisharp leaning into her armor, grabbing those swords, and ready to pop off. Now, we are going to let this Yawn come down, and we're not even going to bother swapping out. We're just going to sit here and take it, as really Musharna's only damaging moves are Dream Eater and Charge Beam, as you can see right there, and that's not going to do too much. Now, that plus special attack will add up over time, but as long as we can wake up this turn or the next one, I think we are going to be just fine, barring any crits. And there it is. We're kind of flirting with it. We're absolutely flirting with it right here, and we are going all in. We are still asleep, and if Charge Beam came down right there, we could have tossed it all, but Bladeless fears no Charge Beam as we drop back with the Night Slash, and now we're going to get a little bit of leftovers every single turn, and I do believe that Bisharp will outspeed Ranunculus, so we should be just fine, or Ranunculus, I should say, as the Night Slash comes down. It is +6 with a fadeaway crit. You'll love to see it. 2 down, 2 to go. Who does Caitlin have in the back? And it's going to be her ace, Gothitelle. The Frisk comes down, letting her know that we have the leftovers, but it won't matter in the end as another Night Slash comes down and takes down the Gothitelle. And that means the only Pokemon left is going to be the Sigilyph, the flying psychic type. Comes in with an air slash and a stab, but it's not very effective, but it does get the flinch as Bladeless eats that on the chin. We heal up with the leftovers, dodging the next air slash. Beautiful stuff. And we fade away with one more Night Slash. Caitlyn is defeated. That brings us to the second Elite Four member on the docket, and it's going to be Marshall and his fighting type Pokemon. All these guys are very bulky and very scary, so let's see what we can do in this situation. We open up with a stab Volt Switch on the throw, chunking him to about 60% HP. A beautiful opener here as we pivot into Metal, who does resist the fighting type with the Psychic, so it's just going to be hitting for neutral, which is really nice. However, we swap into a super effective Bulldoze, which isn't great. The Zen Headbutt comes in as we do outspeed, and throw goes down. The Karate Get Up is gone. Mienshao comes in and is not bulky, but really is fast and strong and springs up into the air with a potential bounce. We will resist, but that paralysis could add up over time. However, the Metagross sidesteps the bounce. Beautiful stuff, and Mienshao cannot tank a stab. Super effective Zen Headbutt. Metal popping off here with the leftovers on the side. The Ace Conkeldurr comes down, and we line up another stab. Super effective Zen Headbutt. Will it be enough to take down the Conkeldurr? And it is not. The pillars hold. The pillars hold strong, but the flinch comes down. Conkeldurr under pressure can't handle the heat, and Metal takes down the Ace. Absolutely. Sock, the final bastion of hope for Marshall, comes in. He's ready to fight. The Iron Head just to pop the sturdy gets a monster damage down. Gets absolutely monstrous damage down onto the slot, leaving about 20% HP. The Brick Break comes down. It doesn't do too much, and we come in with a Bullet Punch. The priority comes down. The full restore on the side of Marshall, doing massive damage here, and now Sock is in prime position to go down as a hero to Marshall, and that's exactly what happens. Metal takes down Marshall almost single-handedly. Beautiful stuff. Coming off of that huge win against the second member, we take on the third here in Grimsley with his Dark-type Pokemon. His Lipard's very fast and very pesky, but doesn't really have anything to endanger our team, so we're gonna go ahead and set up on her just like we have in the last two runs. A little bit of a crit on the side there from the Night Slash. We're gonna tank that no problem as we get the Reflect down. Another Night Slash comes in. It is stab, but it is not very effective as the Volt Switch comes down, getting Magic to a safe space, and we get a monster. His Volt Switch, that was not a critical, and that was not sturdy. Lipard almost going down to a base Volt Switch, absolutely, but Fable comes in, and Fable wants a piece of the sweet pie right here, right now. She said, I'm a tanky girl, but I got this on lock. Absolutely. We get the curse, and now we are setting up on this Leopard. The Aerial Ace comes down, and as you can see, it's gonna absolutely body itself with the Iron Barbs. Fable ramps all the way up to a +6 attack with a +6 defense clip, and now Grimsley is in so much trouble as we have a Steel-type move and a Grass-type move for anyone that Grimsley has to offer here, and the Lipard goes down. I think that means we cannot hit Bisharp for anything, but not very effective, but everyone else is going to have to tank a neutral +6 Seed Bomb. The Brick Break comes down. It is super effective, but as you can see, the Curse defense buff completely laughs at Scrafty, and she goes down. That is two Pokemon down. The UFO completely flexing. The Crocodile is here, and we do have a super effective Stab Seed Bomb ready to go. We swapped out the power because of that 15% mischance. The Earthquake comes down. It is neutral, but does no damage to that defense, and Crocodile goes down. He joins the pile of the fallen, and one more Pokemon here in the Bisharp. I don't think we're going to be able to take her down in one hit because of the Steel typing here, but I think we still have a really good shot. As the X-Scissor comes down, it is neutral. The Iron Barb's doing massive damage on the top, and then Bisharp comes into about 20% HP. The Citrus Berry for reprieve. All we're going to need is one more Iron Head. The bow, the quiver. Fable drops back, hits him with a 720 no-scope. Off the top, the Iron Barb's for reprieve. Iron Head comes in, and Grimsley is defeated. Let's go. And that means it's only Shauntal left as far as the Elite Four is concerned. She's got her 4 Ghost-type Pokemon as Magic the Mana Stone comes down to take on the Cofagrigus. We lock her down with the Thunder Wave and dodge the Will-O-Wisp as well. The Light Screen comes in to keep the team safe, buffing our special defense, and the Paralysis comes down. This Coffin is absolutely locked down as the Volt Switch is here, bringing the Coffin to about 40% HP on top of the Paralysis. Beautiful stuff as Excalibur, our X-Drill, comes in, tanks the Shadow Bow, no problem there. Barely any damage. The leftovers almost healing all of it. That Light Screen really flexing as we get a Sandstorm down, buffing our speed. as Extra Drill's passive is Sandstream, or Sand Rush, I should say, and he is sprinting in the sand right now. He gets the Swords Dance up as well as the chip damage each turn. The Shadow Ball comes down, no crit, no special defense drop, and we are looking good to go. The leftovers doing work. Another Swords Dance comes down. Excalibur wanting to get on the action, has sat on the bench cheering on the team the entire late four. The light screen comes down, and I think this means we go, go, go. The full restore, Curious Rodriguez of the paralysis gets all the way back to full HP, but we snipe from that range, and the Mummy ability actually gets rid of our speed boost in the sand, so it was all for naught. However, I think we still outspeed the Chandelier, and we absolutely do. Excalibur from downtown, beautiful stuff. The ace falls, and that only leaves two Pokemon, one in the Golurk, the other in the Drifblim as we go for a stab. Earthquake, it is not super effective, but it doesn't need to be as Golurk goes down in one shot. The Swords Dance doing absolute work. Drifblim is here, and we have the neutral Iron Head lined up. It is stab, and it's a lot of damage, and the Blimp falls. The only damage that Shauntal can do is the Aftermath. We take the win, and that leaves Iris. And we have arrived. It's time to take down the champion herself. We've only lost the Lucario, but it was our first and most beloved Pokemon, so the whole team has banded together here, and in remembrance of Legacy, let's take Iris down. 6 Pokemon on the docket, all Dragon type or themed Pokemon. The Hydreigon comes down, Dark and Dragon typing, looking fantastic, but we've got Sturdy, so we are going to take this Flamethrower, and we are not going to care. The Thunder Wave walking down Hydreigon, so the entire team is faster, and now we're also going to get a light screen in there as well. We've seen this setup work flawlessly as the paralysis locks down the Hydra, absolutely meaning Magic can get out of here and does not have to sacrifice her UFO self. Beautiful stuff here. Excalibur comes in once again, has to tank the Flamethrower through the light screen. It does not get the burn though, which is absolutely paramount. Excalibur completely flexing. The Sandstorm comes down, and now we are going to be super fast. As long as that Sandstorm is up, the Flamethrower comes in, and we are dodging the burn once again. If the burn comes down, we're going to have to completely pivot to another strat, but we are going all in on another Swords Dance. Does the Hydreigon breakthrough, and it actually goes for a Charge Beam. It thinks we're running away from the flames, but we are not. We are embracing who we are right here, right now, as the Iron Head comes down and takes down the opening Pokemon with a fadeaway crit. Absolutely. Excalibur gets the leftovers, the light screen fades, the Druddigon comes down, is probably looking for that Focus Blast or Flamethrower. We drop back with a stab Earthquake, and it's enough to take down the Behemoth. Absolutely. 2 Pokemon down, 4 Pokemon to go. The Aggron is here, but I do believe she is an offering to the new world as Earthquake is stabbed and 4 times super effective. Aggron cannot tank that even with that physical blow. The Sandstorm subsides, but I do believe the damage has been done as the Ace Haxorus comes down. She's breaking the mold, but will it be enough to take down our Steel Hedgehog? The Earthquake is here, and it's super effective, but can we hold? Can Excalibur hold it? No, he cannot. Absolutely, the Hedgehog falls, and we get one more casualty to join the Lucario, but we send in Fable, and now Haxorus is going to have to contend with our Grass Steel UFO. The Earthquake doing no damage as we get a beautiful Thunder Wave lockdown onto the Guillotine herself. Curse comes in, and we are going in with that setup cheese once again, buffing our attack and defense in exchange for that speed. As the Dragon Dance comes down, the Haxorus wanting it all as we drop back with a +1 Iron Head. It almost gets Haxorus to half, but all we got to do now is do a +1 Curse, and that's going to push us over the limit here. So operating on a Swords Dance, this Grass UFO is feeling it. She wants it all. The Earthquake comes down. We still get outsped given that speed discrepancy with the Dragon Dance and Curse, but it is enough to take down the Guillotine. That leaves to the Lapras, my favorite Pokemon. She is smiling. She is ready to go. Can we tank this thing? And no, we cannot. Hopefully we could have dodged that, but Fable is too slow. She couldn't sidestep in time, so now we are sleeping on the job. The Ice Beam comes down. Can we resist? Holding on with 16 HP, and I think it is best just to let Fable go, to let her live on in stories, and that's exactly what's going to happen as we drop 2 Pokemon, but it's going to open the door for one more Pokemon to come in and let Iris know who is boss. Magic, the Magnezone, is the chosen one, and here she goes. She's got the Lightweight, she's got the Thunder Wave and the Light Screen, but instead we go for the Volt Switch, getting massive damage down onto Lapras, almost one-shotting, and now we can pivot into Metal or Escavalier here. We also have Bladeless in the back. We still have plenty of healthy options. It really just comes down to who we want to finish this fight, and we are going all in on Emery, who sidesteps the Sig, does what Fable could not in her name, and now we gotta take this stab serve up close and personal. We do just that. The Iron Head comes across the board, and Lapras is gone with a fadeaway critical. That only leaves the Archeops, and Emery is in prime time, ready to go. I do believe we have Quick Claw, but it doesn't pop. Rock Slide comes down, it is stab, it's not super effective. The Iron Head comes across the board, Archeops tanks it, it's super effective, and it's enough damage to defeat Iris. We walk out of here with 4 steel types intact. We did it for Lucario, and we secure the win. Absolutely. What a fantastic and enjoyable run. I really enjoyed it, and I will call it here. As always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you on the flip.